Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your Tuesday is off to a wonderful start. Thank you so much for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. Today we're going to be creating a couple of cards and we're going to be using a stamp set from Stampendous. I'm super excited because Stampendous is now over at the Spellbinders shop. So I'm going to be combining a new collection from the Spellbinders shop with a Stampendous stamp set. This is the Dogwood Friend stamp. I love the sentiments in here. They're so pretty, and I thought we'd make a couple of cards using this with the Postage Edge Collection dies. Now this collection is just about shapes. There are rectangles that I have here, there's circles, there's ovals and squares, there is also a slimline. So I'm just going to be using 2 items from the collection. These are nice to have in your stash. Like I use the Spellbinders Essential rectangles and circles a lot for layering. This is great for that too, because there's so many layerable dies in here. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dies in here. And so you can stack and layer or create frames. You know, I like to do that. So we're going to be using these to create our card today. And I love that Stampendous is now over at Spellbinders. I've created some projects with Stampendous stamps before, and I just think they're fabulous. I actually picked up a couple more stamps because I thought they were super cute. I love the teacup. This one here is called the Pop Rose Teacup. So I'll be doing that in a future project. And along with this one, you know, I love my sweets. This one is called the Pop Ice Cream. I think these are called pops because you can put them inside a card that pops open and closes. But I like these on the outsides of cards too. So I got those extra ones too. But back to the collection. We're going to layer and stamp and color. So let's do some coloring first. I mentioned I love the sentiments here. I love this one that says, "A friend is one who strengthens you with prayers, blesses you with love, encourages you with hope." And I think all of you are that to me because you're just wonderful comments and all your letters that you have sent me and my mom have just been a blessing. And I think that's just, I'm thinking of you when I make this card. And then I also like, I'm blessed to have a friend like you. So well, they're all beautiful, but these are the 2 that I'm going to use on my projects today. Isn't that such a pretty flower? I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the package, and we're going to stamp this with some white cardstock. I bought one of those Misty, the Misty sticky mats. So I don't have to use my tape runner all the time, and it's working out so good. It does really stick to your paper, but it does stick really good. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this with my Memento ink. So there is my floral image, and it is so pretty. I'm going to zoom in, and before I zoom in too much, I'm going to share with you the colors that I'm going to be using. I'm going for some purples and some blues and greens. I think then we're going to mix and match those colors on each of the cards. I'll zoom in a little bit more, play some music while I color, and when I'm done coloring, I will get you back. Okay, coloring is all done. Now the nice thing, since this is one image, is that, oops. Okay, I'm going to take my scissors and leaving a little bit of a white border, I'm going to just fussy cut around it. Like so. Just leaving a little bit of a white border, you can see here. I'm going to go around the entire image. Okay, so my image is fussy cut out. It didn't take no time at all. I just think it's really pretty. It kind of has a watery look effect to it. Okay, I'm going to color in and fussy cut one more of these out because we're going to need two for our project today. So I'm going to do that and then I will be right back. Okay, I finished off my second one. Both of my images, this one looks a little bit darker, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and set these off to the side, and then we are going to go ahead and do a little bit of die cutting using the postage edge circles. For me, that's hard to say. I don't know why. I'm going to use the postage edge circles and then postage edge rectangles. What we're going to do is, now I think this one, the largest in here, are great for 5x7 cards or for card bases. Because it is so large. I'm pretty sure that the second postage edge and the circles will fit an A2 panel. In fact, we're going to take that and die cut that out with white cardstock. And then we're going to take our next layer and then I'm going to bring in some color cardstock. This has dotted detail and it's really pretty. I'm going to use Cloudy Sky cardstock. I think it's going to go good with our florals. The Cloudy Sky. I'll die cut this out. And then we're going to take one more postage edge circle and die cut this out with white cardstock. And then with our rectangles, I'm going to take, we're going to go with the dotted detail here, and I'm going to cut this out with the Spellbinders Color Essential cardstock. Both of these are Color Essentials. This is Plum. I love Plum. I don't know what it is. I just love the elegant look of that. Looks like it's royal. I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to take the postage edge that's smaller, and I'm going to die cut this out with white cardstock. Here. Now, while we're die cutting, I'm going to bring in a few extra dies for my background. I'm going to take, I recently created with this. This is the Spellbinders and Simon Hurley Candy Stripes. I love this die for backgrounds. I'm going to take this and an A2 panel and cut out some stripes. And I just want this for texture in my background. And then with white cardstock, I'm going to take one of the Kaleidoscope Plaid dies. I think I'm going to use this one here that has, there's 3 different plaids, the one that's heavy with the plaid. I'm going to die cut out this also. And then we're going to actually die cut this out. Creating a window panel in this. So I'm going to line this up inside my postage edge, leaving me a little bit of a border here, and then I'm going to die cut out 2 more times. Okay, so I have a bit of die cutting to do. When I am all done, I will be right back. I have everything die cut out. Now my circles I'll keep together. We're going to use these on another card, so I'm going to put that off to the side, and we're going to work with these. Now this is my frame that I created. We're actually going to flip it around. I'm going to take my plum cardstock. I didn't notice this, but there is, it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but when you die cut this out, you can actually see the pierced detail in here, which is really nice. I'm going to mat this on some of my purple cardstock. This is Spellbinders Purple Mist. I want to do a little bit of matting. And I just want a little bit of this peeking out, not too much. So I'm just going to line it up like this, and then I'll use my paper trimmer, and I'll just trim it down here. Just so we have a little bit of that purple peeking out. I'm going to take my postage edge rectangle, flip it around. Actually, let's stamp our sentiment on here first. So my sentiment I'm going to use, I'm blessed to have a friend like you. Since I have my memento on my desk, I'm going to use this. And I might have to stamp it a few times. Actually, I don't. For good time's a charm. Once is plenty. How pretty is that? We're going to go ahead and stamp our second sentiment too for our second card. Only because we have our stamping positioner out. So I'm just going to place this in here. I'm going to place it off to the right. And then we'll stamp it with the same black ink. Nice thing about circles is you can always get it straight because you just got to turn it. So let's ink this up. And we'll stamp this one as we're doing it. Wonderful. So both of our sentiments are done here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and then taking my postage edge rectangle, I'm going to layer this on my plum cardstock. And this is going to shock you, but I'm not going to add any foam tape to this. I'm just going to center it. I will eventually add foam tape, but not to my front panel. We're going to add it behind it. Now I die cut out 3 of these because I'm going to add dimension to this panel with these. If you wanted to use glue, you can, but sometimes my tape runner is just quicker. I'm going to line 3 of these together. And it is quite dimensional, you can see here. And then I'm going to add adhesive along the back side. And then I'm going to just place this right in the middle here. I wanted a kind of a lattice look for my flowers. And you see the dimension that this gives. I love that. Okay, we're going to take our card, we're going to flip this over. I'm going to bring in some foam. Now we have our background stripes, our candy stripes. I'm going to take my card base. We're going to leave it white. And then I'm going to add adhesive behind here. I'm keeping my stripes white because I'm going for just a little bit of texture in my background. And sometimes I love doing this with background dyes. Wonderful. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some glue behind my panel here. Okay, then we're going to take our florals and I'm going to go ahead and just, do we want to pop these up? And then we do need to add some bells and whistles to this. I'm actually going to use my purple opalescent. For my next card, I went ahead and embossed a white background panel. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches with my Puff, my 3D Puff Dotty embossing folder. Since we're working with circles, I thought we might as well add some circles to our background. I'm going to adhere this directly to my card base. Wonderful. And with these, I'm going to go ahead and layer my pierced detail on my postage edge. We'll just center it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my second postage edge right in the center. So we have all three of them layered together. I kind of better center this a little bit more. Wonderful. Okay, this is going to go directly in the center of my card. And I already put some foam tape behind it, or foam adhesive. So we're just going to use some glue and attach this to the center of our card. So we have our texture in the background and our sentiment. Now I'm going to take my florals and I'm just going to add a little more glue. And my glue is clogged. I'm going to use my little glue pen. I want to thank you, take this moment to thank Simone James. She sent me my glue pen. It has my name on it. This is a glue pen. And she sent it to me. She has an Etsy shop. I just want to share this because it works out fabulous. If you guys have a problem losing your pins that you use to unclog your glues and your glossy accents, this is so lovely. Simone James sent this to me. She has an Etsy shop called Blonde Cards and Crafts, and it is so nice because you can't lose it. It's on my desk. There's even a little clip that you can clip it to something, but I never ever lose it because of the bright colors. And it's attached. It's like a little keychain with a pin on it. So if you guys are interested, head on over to Simone James Blonde Cards and Crafts Etsy shop. She sells these, and I just think they're adorable. You'll never lose it on your craft desk. Makes it really nice. All you do is take your pen, and the top of the pen has a little heart, and you just unclog it, and it works beautifully. So thank you very much, Simone. You are a sweetheart. I thank you for your beautiful letter too. We're going to go ahead and take our floral, and then we're going to add this. And this flower here is covering up part of my sentiment. So what we're going to do is just trim off that flower. Kind of like if I have the perfect hairdo and I have a couple strands that is out of place. You know what I do? I just trim it away. And you guys probably don't want to know that, do you? Don't you just hate that when you have like the perfect hairdo and then you have just a couple pieces that don't belong? They're just not cooperating. I just take my scissors and snip them away. Yes, that is probably a little bit of too much information about me, huh? But that's reality, right? Okay, I have that little extra flower. We don't want to put this to waste. So I'm going to take this, add a little dimension by putting a small foam square behind it. Let's see, we'll put this over here. That's a good spot. But it's so nice because it's just one floral image, and you can do so much with it. And my panel keeps wanting to pop up. So I'm going to add more glue. I think it's those puff dotties. But isn't that such pretty sentiments? Now I'm excited. I get to share with you the purple. I haven't used these yet. These are the Spellbinders Purple Opalescent sequins. And these are perfect too, I mentioned, because of the color facets in them. It has a purple and a blue and a green color facet to it. So I think it's going to go perfect with my cards. Oops. And then for my little purple flowers, I'm going to bring in the Prism AB Color Essential Gems. Let's add these first. I'm just going to use my tool-in-one. How pretty is that? Those work like perfect together. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. That has almost the same color facet as the sequins. Now for the center of my flowers, that's where I'm going to add these. So we'll bring back our glue. I'm going to add some glue to the center. My purple opalescent sequins, I just use them in the center of my flowers. I love that they have a Ziploc bag. Makes it really nice for storage. Now I want a little dimension to the center of my flowers. So I'm going to top it with one of my Nuvo crystal drops. I'm just going to add a little dot right in the center. And then lastly, I'm going to take my white gel pen and I'm going to add a few little dots around my flower. Each around the flower petals. I love doing this. I just think it just kind of brings that flower to life. It just brings those flowers to life. Let me show you. Well, the darker one. It's amazing just what a few little white dots will do. You can see those pearls in the middle of those sequins too. Kind of pretty simple cards, but I love the outcome. Kind of went over, used quite a few supplies today. That's the best thing about Try It Out Tuesday, is I get to try out everything. But I tried out my new little pen tool. Again, if you want to check out Simone's shop, it's called Blonde Cards and Crafts. Thank you again, Simone, for this lovely pen. You can check that out. You can check out Stampendous products over at Spellbinders shop. And then I also went over the brand new collection by BECCA FEEKEN. It's called Postage Edge. If you need some staple dies that are great for backgrounds, check out that collection. I'll link it down below. But hope you enjoyed my projects. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you next Tuesday. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. If I don't see you before then, I'm very thankful for you all. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.